everyone, it's Sharana from Pay or Wait. Since today I'm going to be reviewing American Horror Story 1984, Season 9, Episode... Child, I don't even know what episode is this? I think it's episode 7, y'all. Episode 7, The Lady in White. I hope that's the right episode. I didn't even write it down. So the episode opens up and we are taking back to 1948, where it is not called Camp Redwood. It is called Camp Golden Star. It just made me feel so excited about that. And so we see my homie Lily. Hey Lily, she came back. I was like, guys, where are all my favorite OG American Horror Story actors? But we got some fun surprises this episode. And so we see that she plays Benjamin, aka Mr. Jingles. She his mama. She was a camp cook. She just trying to make a way out of no way for her kids after her husband died and left her with 2 children to take care of. And so she was a camp cook, just trying to do the best that she can, be the best mother that she could. But we see that Benjamin, he wasn't well liked by his mother. She had issues that he always read comics, that none of the kids liked him. She always like, why can't you just be more like Bobby? Why can't you just go socialize? And so she makes them go swimming and she tells them to watch after your little brother Bobby. And so I was like, all right, well, he tried to go swimming. But then the girls started making fun of him. He was like, is it cold outside? And they were like, well, maybe not for your blubber. I said, y'all disrespectful. I'd be like, I would have backhand them. But we see that he just decides he doesn't want to go swimming. He tells his little brother to go to the dock. Just sit there, just chill. He said he's going to be right back. And then this fool over here trying to watch the lifeguard and his little boo thing at the time top him off a little bit. Actually, it was like a little mixture of everything. I don't know what the heck they was finna do, but they was finna get it on. And then we see that we hear a scream. We see that he tries to look for his little brother. I thought he drowned, but then we see that he was okay. But then someone starts a boat and the dang on motor kill his brother. And I said, baby, that performance that Lily gave us, when she screamed and then when she blamed everybody in the whole camp, I was just like, honey, I felt that. You still a trash mama, but I felt all that anger. I felt all of that rage that was happening. And so we see that Benjamin has a deeper connection to the camp, which is probably why he's was still there, why he always gravitates back to the camp. He has a huge history that we didn't actually know about. So we see that he ends up returning back to Camp Redwood, and then we see that he runs into one of the fake Mr. Jingles that he killed, because he killed all 3 of them. So he runs into him. He's like, why are you still wearing the same thing? Like, didn't I kill you? And he was like, I'm dead. I'm a ghost. Then he get jumped by the other ghost. And I was just like, what is going on? And so then we see all of the ghosts who are together. I guess Montana is like the ringleader of the ghosts. And so what they're trying to do is they're trying to wait for the festival to begin so they can murder everyone at the festival. So it will garner worldwide attention from all of the paranormal detectives. So they will want to come and investigate it and try to figure out what is this presence that is haunting this campground. So eventually they can all be set free. And so they kind of go into how they felt lost. They had no sense of purpose. They still had all of these emotions as if they were still alive, and how they basically trying to get on these past 5 years from the events that happened at Camp Redwood. So we see that they tell him, like, they're telling him about this lady in white who has been terrorizing the other ghosts. And so then he was like, that's actually my mother. And then he goes to talk to her, and baby, she read him for filth. She said, I will do whatever it takes to make sure that you live your life in agony. I pity your son that he has you as a father. I was just like, girl, like, you still mad all these years later? Like, you mad. And she said, she was like, it should have been you that died. I was like, Lily was giving me all my life with her acting in this episode. I was just like, girl, tell me. I feel your pain, girl. I feel it. But we see that this really hurts him because he's really torn up about what happened to his brother. And we find out in a flashback that there was another massacre that happened in the camp 20 years prior to the 1970 massacre that involved his mother, and when she felt as though that all of the counselors had to pay for what happened to her son. And so in the middle of the night, she's dressed in white, and her outfit, I was like, girl, I know you up here murdering people, but you look good, girl. I see you, girl. I see you. You better slay. You better slay while you slay. Literally. You see what I did there? Okay, I'm sorry. So we see that Benjamin wakes up. He hears the screams. He sees his mother. He sees everything that she has done. And she's trying to basically get a hold of him so she can kill him as well. And he ends up, she stabbed him. I was like, dang, you just gonna stab him in the leg like that? That is your son. But she gave 0 F. So we see that he ends up grabbing the knife and stabbing his mother and killing her, which led to when all of her blood spilled into the ground, all of her hate, her rage went into the ground. And this is why the ghost cannot leave. So I guess they got to figure out how they're going to kill her in order to set everyone free. I don't know if that's what they're going for this. Who knows? But that's pretty much what's happening. So basically we see that he names his son after his little brother. So we see that him and his mother have another interaction at the dock. She's like, I can't even mourn my son in peace. Like, can you get away from here? Like, what are you doing? So we see that they're having this conversation, and he was like, what kind of father would I be if I didn't try to take on Ramirez to make sure that my son is protected? And so it seems like she has a tender moment where she's just like, well, you're no match for him. He's made a deal with the devil just as you, and he's always going to come and collect. And there are forces greater that are on his side. And so she basically tells him that he needs to kill himself so he can always come back, so he could actually kill Ramirez. And so that is what he does. He ends up killing himself, and it's time for the final showdown between Mr. Jingles and Richard. I'm saying Mr. Ramirez, like he's some gentleman or something. Whatever. Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker. But in the meantime, we see that at the end of last week's episode, we saw that Donna actually ended up saving Brooke from being killed by lethal injection. So we see that the reason why Brooke is still alive is because Donna actually switched the drugs that mimics the same things that the drugs that were supposed to kill Brooke. But however, she's high as a kite. She's on these drugs, and so she needs to detox. She got the girl tied to the bed. Then when the girl spitting down her face, I said, "Bitch, look, I know that I might have caused all this to happen with you, but you spit in my face to see what would have happened." So we see that eventually they end up trusting each other as much as they possibly can trust one another. And she basically says, like, hey, I'm going to help you get out of the country, you know, do whatever you need to do to get your life back. And she sees the paper that says the festival. She's like, oh, hell no. The only life that I need to get back is killing that little raggedy bitch Margaret, okay, because she ruined my life for 5 years, 1,285 days to be exact. And so she basically says, like, I'm going back to Camp Redwood, I'm going to kill this hoe, and then I'm going to go move on with my life. We see they go to this like little skate rinks because she feels like she missed out on the 80s, the glory years. And then they run into another one of my favorite characters, Dylan McDermott. His character was Bruce, who looked creepy as hell, who was over listening to their conversation saying, I need a ride to Camp Redwood. They were like, hell no, because they don't do strangers. Because see what happened the last time they started talking strangers on them, they almost ended up dead. So we see that they end up leaving. And then their car's messed up, and so he ends up helping them, and then they end up giving him a ride. But then we see when they drive by, we see a picture of all these missing women. I was like, Lord, he another serial killer. So we see that they end up giving him a ride, but then he gets a little weird trying to scare them. And so they tell him to get out, and they pull to the side of the road, but then the police show up. And I'm like, oh, okay, so they say the police gonna come. Now that fool Bruce then got out of the car, shot the police, but then they drove off. So I was like, good job, y'all, good job. But that fool then came up and found him, rams the police car into them, shoots the dude, knocks them out, and then he ties Donna to the back of the truck, gonna drag her. Well, he's trying to make Brooke do it, but Brooke gets smart, and she ends up stabbing him. She ends up shooting him, then they tie him to a tree post, cut off his thumb so he can't hitchhike and kill no more women on the highway no more. And then Donna done behind talking about she feeling all bad, talking about, I'm gonna come help you. I'm finna go to Camp Redwood. I'd be like, Donna, look, I know that you were the cause of all of this, but this is not the time to be Captain Save-A-Ho. I would have took my black behind somewhere else, so where there's not gonna be any serial killers for the night. But of course, you just want to die. You just want to make bad decisions. So go ahead and do you, boo. Just do you. I just don't understand why you made that decision. I can understand why Brooke done behind, because she been making dumb decisions since episode 1. Totally okay with that. But you down there, don't do that. Just go be a good person. Go to church. Go do something else. Go give to the community. Donate. I don't know. But you don't need to be on this Captain Jose mission that's going to ultimately lead to your death. But we see that Margaret, she using Trevor. Why did she read Trevor for filth and tell him that he needed to go use his little pendulum between his legs to go sweep up sweep up the little pine needles off the bathroom floor because that's all that is good for. I said, ma'am, why do you do him like this? So dirty. So she's at the camp trying to get everything planned, and we see that Ramirez pops up out of nowhere. He finally done found his idol, okay? And so he's talking to him, and I guess he made a deal with the devil, and he said he was here to collect honey, and he killed the whole damn band. He killed everybody, like everybody. So I don't know what's about to happen in this episode coming up for next week. But my thoughts on this episode, I mean, I enjoyed the episode just because I got to see, like, you know, Lily and Dylan. So it was nice seeing the faves come back. I kind of liked the whole thing with him and the girls in the car. And then the whole thing with her being Benjamin's mother, I thought she had some very great acting. I just felt like they were both just having a great time, which made me enjoy this episode so much more. But there's still so much that just is like, y'all, we only got a few more episodes. Ain't nothing happening. It's like these are still filler episodes. We could have got the lady in white a couple of episodes back. I don't even understand what the issue was. But I did like the twist that his mother was the reason why Margaret killed all those people, because she was trying to get back at him. I was just like, you are cold-blooded, mama. Like cold-blooded, blooded. All right? But I'm not sold on this season, you guys. I really enjoyed this episode, but it was mainly because of Lily and because of Dylan. If they weren't in this episode, I would not have enjoyed this episode as much as I did. I really hope that we really get to this big showdown, and it better be a good showdown. It better be like 5-10 minutes long. Got to go through 3 commercial breaks to see them finish fighting, because y'all need to pick it up, because I just don't understand why I feel like we're getting filler episodes when it should just be building and building and building, and that's not what I'm getting right now. But those are pretty much my thoughts on American Horror Story 1984, Season 9, Episode 7, The Lady in White. Let me know in the comment section below, how did you feel about this episode? Were you excited to see Lily and Dylan? Did you feel like this is like an awesome episode, that there was enough happening that made you stay engaged? Or do you feel like me, where you feel like this season is like losing steam every week? We're just losing steam, and we're really just like having these reoccurring issues happen. I don't understand. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below, what did you think about this week's episode? But as always, my name is Sharona from Pay Your Weight, and if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit the notification bell. And I love you guys 3000. I'll see you soon.